In the annals of American folklore, few tales have captured the imagination and struck terror into the hearts of people quite like the legend of the Bell Witch. This haunting saga, which unfolded in the early 19th century in Adams, Tennessee, remains one of the most well-documented cases of alleged supernatural activity in American history, even catching the attention of a future president. The story begins in 1817 when John Bell, a respected farmer and elder in the Red River Baptist Church, first encountered strange phenomena on his family's farm. Initially, the occurrences seemed mundane: unusual knocking sounds on the walls and doors, chains dragging across floors, and mysterious animals appearing and disappearing. But as weeks turned into months, the supernatural presence grew bolder and more malevolent, particularly focusing its wrath on John Bell and his youngest daughter, Betsy. The entity, which would later become known as the Bell Witch, demonstrated an unprecedented level of intelligence and interaction with the living. Unlike typical ghost stories of the era, this spirit could speak clearly, carry on complex conversations, and demonstrated detailed knowledge of both current events and biblical scripture. It identified itself as Kate, and some believed it to be the spirit of Kate Batts, a neighbor with whom John Bell had a land dispute. However, the entity itself claimed various identities, sometimes saying it was a spirit sent by God to punish Bell for his sins, other times claiming to be the ghost of a Native American whose grave had been disturbed. What makes the Bell Witch case particularly compelling is the breadth of its witness accounts. The supernatural activities weren't limited to the Bell family's observations. Hundreds of visitors, including future President Andrew Jackson, reportedly experienced the witch's presence. Jackson, who was a general at the time, allegedly arrived at the Bell farm with a wagon full of ghost hunting gear, only to have his entire party frightened away by the entity before they could even begin their investigation. According to local legend, Jackson declared, "I'd rather face the entire British Army than spend another night with the Bell Witch." The torment inflicted upon the Bell family was both psychological and physical. John Bell suffered the worst of it, experiencing mysterious paralysis, difficulty swallowing, and seizures. The witch would often physically assault him, pulling his tongue out of his mouth, sticking pins in his flesh, and throwing him to the ground. Betsy Bell, then a teenager, endured similar abuse, being slapped, pinched, and having her hair pulled. The witch would often interrupt her sleep with violent attacks and seemed particularly opposed to Betsy's courtship with a young man named Joshua Gardner. The witch's activities weren't limited to malevolence, though. Sometimes it would sing hymns, quote scripture, and even help members of the household with their chores. It would engage in intellectual debates with visitors and demonstrated an uncanny ability to be in multiple places simultaneously. The entity would also distribute candies to some of the Bell children and was known to help Lucy Bell, John's wife, with household duties when she was ill. The torment reached its climax in December 1820 when John Bell died under mysterious circumstances. The witch claimed responsibility for his death, saying she had poisoned him with a mysterious vial of liquid found near his bed. According to family accounts, the witch laughed and sang drinking songs during Bell's funeral, creating a macabre celebration of his death. The Bell Witch's presence began to fade after John Bell's death, though it continued to harass Betsy until she broke off her engagement with Joshua Gardner. The entity promised to return in 7 years, and indeed, in 1828, it reportedly came back for a brief period, visiting John Bell Jr. During this visit, the witch made several prophecies about the Civil War and future events, some of which allegedly came true. The legacy of the Bell Witch extends far beyond its time. The cave on the former Bell property, known as the Bell Witch Cave, has become a tourist attraction, drawing paranormal investigators and curious visitors from around the world. The site has been featured in numerous documentaries, books, and paranormal investigation shows. Local residents still report strange occurrences in the area, and the cave is said to be haunted by the witch's presence to this day. What sets the Bell Witch apart from other American ghost stories is the level of documentation and the number of credible witnesses. The events were recorded in detail by Richard Williams Bell, John Bell's youngest son, in Our Family Trouble, a manuscript that wasn't published until 1935. Multiple contemporary accounts exist, including newspaper articles and personal letters, making it one of the most well-documented paranormal cases in American history. The Bell Witch phenomenon has had a lasting impact on American folklore and popular culture. It has inspired numerous books, films, and television shows, including An American Haunting, 2005, and episodes of various paranormal investigation series. The story has been studied by historians, paranormal researchers, and skeptics alike, each offering their own interpretations of the events. Skeptics have proposed various explanations for the Bell Witch phenomena. Some suggest that the events were elaborately staged pranks, possibly involving multiple participants. Others point to mass hysteria or the possibility that the Bell family suffered from collective mental illness. Medical historians have suggested that John Bell's symptoms might have been caused by a neurological condition, while the other phenomena could be attributed to the family's religious beliefs and the superstitious nature of the era. However, these explanations fail to account for all aspects of the case, particularly the numerous independent witnesses and the physical evidence reported. The Bell Witch remains one of the few historical hauntings where the entity demonstrated not just consciousness, but also complex interaction with multiple witnesses over an extended period. The story of the Bell Witch continues to fascinate because it challenges our understanding of supernatural phenomena. Unlike many ghost stories that involve simple apparitions or unexplained noises, the Bell Witch displayed intelligence, personality, and purpose. It interacted with its environment in ways that seemed to defy natural laws, yet left behind enough evidence to make its existence difficult to dismiss entirely. Today, the Bell Witch story serves as more than just a ghost story. It's a window into early 19th century American life, beliefs, and social structures. The tale reflects the religious and supernatural beliefs of the period, the importance of reputation and community standing, and the complex social dynamics of rural Tennessee life. It remains a fascinating case study for those interested in paranormal phenomena, historical documentation, and the evolution of American folklore. The Bell Witch case raises important questions about the nature of supernatural phenomena and our ability to understand and document such events. Whether one believes in the supernatural or not, the impact of this story on American culture and folklore is undeniable. It continues to intrigue new generations, prompting discussions about the boundaries between the natural and supernatural worlds, and challenging our assumptions about what is possible and what